Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me today. This video is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be the first video of a 3-part series telling you what to do with your tax return. Hello everybody, Will Frazier, Realtor and Credit Guru here, and my mission is to bring you the information you need to overcome your credit obstacles of the past to turn your dream home into a reality. And don't forget, I have helpful tools linked down in the description of this video that will help you get credit reports at a discounted price, help you get secure credit cards, and also help you with other areas as far as working on your credit. Now, as I mentioned in today's video, we're going to be talking about what to do with your tax return money. And this first video is going to be focused on repositioning your finances. Now, the very first way that we're going to work on that is we're going to work on changing your mindset about how you want to spend your money. And the very first tip that I have for you today on spending your money is don't spend beyond your means, which is something that we normally do when we get our tax return money. Now, I understand this way of thinking. I've seen it in my family. I've done the same thing before, and I'm pretty sure you all have done the same thing too. You don't have a lot of money during the year, so as soon as you get that large lump sum of money, you are completely ready to go and blow it on the first thing that you see that you've been waiting on all this time. Now, the biggest problem with doing that is going to be the fact that normally by the time you spend all that money on whatever it is that you've been waiting on purchasing the whole year, you're probably going to be broke right after you buy it, or those things that you wanted to buy. So please don't do it, because if you couldn't afford it throughout the whole year, if you couldn't afford it before you got your tax return, that means you still can't afford it now. Now, if you aren't going to be spending this money on something that's a necessity or something that's an investment, meaning it doesn't have to be like stocks or something like that, but just something that you can put money into that you'll get something back out of it, like you'll get more money back than you put in at the beginning, then you probably shouldn't do it. A lot of times during this time period, people will go and spend their money on a down payment for a car that they maybe don't have the money to afford the monthly payment on, but because they have the money right now to go put a down payment on something, they'll go ahead and get a car really quickly, not thinking about what's going to happen in the future. And I promise you, the repo man is just waiting on your bank account to realize that the money isn't going to be coming back in there to help with that car payment. Now, I'm not saying you can't have fun with your tax return money. I'm not saying that you can't take your family out on a trip, go take them to an event or do something that you've always wanted to do with the money. Like, you can have a little bit of fun with it, but I'm just saying don't overdo it like most of us normally do. Now, the next thing that you're going to want to focus on is going to be to pay down any high interest debt that you have currently. Now, the reason you're going to want to do this is because a lot of us struggle during the year because we may have a whole bunch of credit cards with a whole lot of debt on those credit cards, and we're trying to make all the minimal payments as well as our regular bills and keep up with all of that, and we normally end up struggling during the year because we have too much debt on our shoulders. So you're not going to have a large lump sum of money coming like this in a foreseeable future, so you might as well use that money now to pay down the balances on those credit cards so that you can alleviate some of that stress from expenses that you have on a monthly basis, lower those monthly payments, and then you'll have less coming out of pocket. And you actually may be able to eliminate your payment completely if you're able to pay off all of those cards at the same time, if not some. Now, another important reason to do this is to increase your credit score, because once you pay down those high balances on those credit cards, it's actually going to increase your credit score a lot. Because normally when you have high balances on your credit cards, it weighs down your credit score tremendously. So as soon as you pay those down, you'll see a really big jump in your credit score just from doing that. Now, sometimes people want to use this money to try and go and start paying off their collection accounts on their credit report. And collection accounts are going to be third-party companies that are collecting money for the original person that you owed. Now, you don't really want to take your money, waste your time taking your money to go pay them people off, because it's not going to increase your credit score unless they take it off of your credit report at the same time. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to do that, but that's the only way that it would increase your score. So using your money to pay off those type of accounts isn't really going to help you. Now, one thing that you can use the tax return for to try to pay off as far as old debt would be for charge-off accounts. And normally a repo, if you have that on your credit report, is going to be the best one to use it for. And the reason why I say that is because normally repos show that you owe a high dollar amount of money. And normally those companies are definitely not going to remove the account from your credit report if you pay them. But it's still going to help your score better if you pay that type of account, a charge-off account, because the only way to resolve those type of accounts is to pay them off so that it doesn't show a balance anymore on your credit report. Now, this isn't going to immediately increase your credit score, paying off anything that's an old debt on your credit report doesn't usually increase your credit score. So it's not going to increase your credit score, but over time you will see the benefits from you doing that. And now if you're unsure of what's on your credit report at all and you haven't really seen it in a while, or you've only been checking Credit Karma so you only get to see 2 credit bureaus and you don't know what's on that 3rd credit bureau, I do have a credit monitoring company that I use for my customers listed below, and you can get it at a discounted price, and you can keep up with your credit, monitor it. You can see what's on it right now, of course, and you can keep up with your credit on a regular basis with that. Okay, so now the 3rd thing that you can do with your tax return money is start your emergency fund. Now you guys know how we're always prepared for emergencies. But really, normally we're never prepared for any type of emergency as far as having funds to try to cover it. So now would be the best time for you to try to put some money to the side so that you'll be prepared in case the transmission on your car goes out. You need to make some repairs to your roof at your home. If there's a death in the family, you need to cover death expenses. Or maybe you lose your job and you don't have any money saved up to pay your bills. Now is going to be the time for you to put that money to the side so that you'll be prepared for whatever happens. Now, as far as what you want to have in your bank account to save up in your emergency fund, it's good to start off by having at least 3 months of your monthly expenses saved up into a bank account. That way, if you're in a predicament where you're not working for at least 3 months, you'll have the money to cover all of your bills until you come into work. And that should also be enough to cover any expenses that may pop up if you have any large emergency expenses that come up. Now, the 3-month rule is going to be something that you just want to start off as. Then you want to gradually advance to having 6 months and then 12 months worth of your monthly expenses saved up into a bank account, because you want to be able to cover yourself and your family for the long haul, because you never know how things may turn out if you do end up losing your job and how long it may take to get another one. You see, it's never a matter of if something is going to go wrong, it's a matter of when things are going to go wrong. And you don't want to be that person that's going to be caught off guard when something does happen. So make sure that you're prepared and start saving money. Put it to the side now while you have it. Now, that's all I have for you today in this first video. Like I said, this is a 3-part series, so the next video is going to be talking about real estate. I'm going to give you some tips on using your refund money to buy a home, or to refinance your home, or even to fix up your home for yourself, or if you're planning on selling your home. So make sure you tune in to see the video that's going to be next week. I hope you really enjoyed this video and got some use out of it. Please make sure you like and share the video if you got some value out of it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can see more useful information like this.